Hi, and welcome to Spending Time with Aunt Jess. I'm Aunt Jess, mother to Jeremiah, aunt to Cash, Jade, Isaac Cruz, Jackson Ellis, Emma, Lewis, Cove, Oliver, and so many more. Thanks for joining me today. Today is book 18 of 25 books for Christmas. Today we are going to read Bear's First Christmas by Robert Kinerk. It started to snow, and a bear, very young, caught 2 or 3 flakes on the tip of his tongue. The coming of snow could mean only one thing. It meant that Bear had to sleep until spring. Down a hill which was steep, past tall bluffs which were steeper, the bear trekked through the woods that grew deeper and deeper. He trekked on a path past a lake's shady shore, and at last found a cave with a rough stone for a floor. At the mouth of the cave, the bear noticed a tree, which struggled to grow where no tree ought to be. In the view the bear got from the mouth of the cave, the tree looked quite small, but also quite brave. As he rested his head on his furry soft paw, the brave little tree was the last thing he saw. And then his eyes closed, and on the rough stone he drifted asleep, all alone, all alone. The winter closed in, and days passed, while the wind from the north blew its shivery blast. On the floor of the forest, the snow rose and rose, and the lakes and the streams and the rivers all froze. The bear slept, and he dreamt of the coming spring and the birds who'd return and who'd swoop through the skies. But a faraway sound made him open his eyes. He stepped from his cave and he looked toward a hill. The shadows he saw all remained very still, but on wings of the wind from across the cold ground came the strains of a soft and mysterious sound. The bear followed the sound, but it stayed very faint and was lost by and by in a crow's harsh complaint. The crow cawed, and his caw seemed to say he needed some help finding food right away. In all those deep woods, there was no one to hear except the young bear, and to him it was clear he'd have to hike home, then search high and low for some sort of food for the shivering crow. Homeward he trudged with the snow to his knees, and he returned with some honey, a comb from the bees. The crow picked his fill of that treat from the bear, then he spread his black wings and he took to the air. He followed the bear while the moon hid its face and the stars twinkled cold in the vastness of space. They came to a bog where a moose and his teeth tried to scrape at the ice for the weeds underneath. He needed some help, which the bear could well see. So he scraped with his claws till the cold weeds were free. The moose ate and ate. When he'd eaten his fill, he followed the bear and the crow round a hill. The wind whispered sharp, and the night grew unpleasant as the bear saw ahead the crushed home of a pheasant. A branch overhead had let loose loads of snow that had smashed the bird's home with the force of a blow. The pheasant had chicks, and the chicks' cries were pleas that said to the bear they were scared they would freeze. A nod from the bear let the frightened birds know they should follow the tracks that he made through the snow, which they instantly did on the chance that they might, with his help, find a place to be safe through the night. On the bear trudged till he saw through more snow a lair or a burrow all lit by a glow. Icicles hung from its top, sharp and bright. Its sides had a space that was open for light. And what's this from inside? The wondrous sound. After all of his trekking, its source had been found. He crept to the light without making a noise. In the glow of the light, there were 2 girls and 2 boys. And pealing from them came mysterious words, a sound to the bear like the music of birds. He stood and he stared, and his eyes grew more wide, for there was a wonderful glowing inside, a glow with warm rays like the sun and its rise, a glow cast from faces, a glow cast from eyes, but a glow most of all from a wonderful tree that the beasts out of doors were astonished to see. A tree dressed in lights, each shiny as dew. What the lights meant, though, no animal knew. The last of the sound faded off in the night. The children inside were led slowly from sight. Out of doors the beasts stared as the last embers fell. They thought and they thought, but they still couldn't tell what the meaning could be of the music, the lights, and the gladness inside on this darkest of nights. But a spark deep inside gave off that same glow as they made their way back through the drifts of deep snow. The bear broke the trail, and he made it so wide. The moose, who was giving the birds all a ride, could quickly and easily follow along as the birds on his back sang an improvised song, which was only caw-caw and a merely tweet-tweet, but was shared, and by sharing grew more and more sweet. The bear showed the pheasants his well-hidden den to say they could stay until spring came again, to which all the pheasants were quick to agree, though they and the others all stared at the tree. At the crooked and the ragged, the struggling tree, at the tree that was growing where no tree should be. For the moon in the sky had sent down a bright beam that touched the tree's branches and made them all gleam, almost as if in the dark of the night the tree had been graced by a magical light. There was room in the cave for the moose and the crow. They needn't trudge off through the dark and the snow. Into the cave the bear squeezed with each guest, and they all settled down to begin their long rest. They slept, and the tree shed its marvelous light all through the freezing and long winter night. It continued to glow when the winter was done, and the earth had been touched by the warmth of the sun. And the bear in new treks knows the light never ends. It's a knowledge he shares with his wide-roaming friends. For each friend, though he roams from the others apart, carries with him inside him that glow in his heart. The end. Thanks for joining me today while we read Bear's First Christmas, and I will see you tomorrow for book 19 of 25 Books of Christmas. Thanks for spending time with Aunt Jess. Bye.